Hi, this is BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com, where I'm promoting polite patriotism to help nice, polite ladies and gents look, walk, talk, and feel great, raise confident children, communicate well offline about all the great stuff they hear online, and be proud nationalists defending their country against the threat of globalism, or super rich people using international institutions to control your country, as opposed to people wherever you live controlling your own country, making it a great place to live or a great place to visit. So that's the difference. To support the manforwars.com efforts as you like, and success will breed more, or you'll see things slip, and who knows, right? And there's other things, but when it comes to the offline information war, online has largely replaced that, and so offline it's very, very important, because otherwise it's like different species of people with different information sources, and then with social constipation, political correctness, trouble talking, and gender neutralization, trouble acting like men and women, ladies and gentlemen. People don't act nice enough to talk, and then they can't talk to each other, and then even if they watch online YouTube videos for hours or listen to podcasts, and they're super smart and super informed, and they can help people be cool, they can't act nice enough to talk, they can't, right? So that's why polite patriotism. Promote be nice, everybody likes it, and then when people are nice enough to talk, you can also promote get bad guys. Otherwise, you can't, right? Get bad guys, already are a mess. How about be nice? I guess it's better, right? Everybody likes be nice. 100% of people wherever you live, Canada, around the world, worked for thousands of years, and get bad guys. The 5-10% of people that want to do that will be able to do that and make it easier for everybody else, right? Ballpark. So that's polite patriotism. And when it comes to this video is called, here it's 10:54 a.m. Saturday, February 23rd, 2019. BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com in downtown Toronto, Canada. This video is called, Can You Sympathize with the Danger of Being a Cop? Can you sympathize with the danger of being a cop? Right? Because from a higher up perspective, the super rich people in charge, the establishment, whatever, they typically use divide and conquer schemes, right? They want to divide people by race, by identity, by demographics, by interests, and then they want to divide and conquer those people, as opposed to having people unify around nationalism. This is our country. We do and don't do these things here. This is our city. It's a great city like Toronto. Nice, polite people, world famous, for it. Lots of great people. Nice place, nice people, and a nice place to live, or go to hell, right? And so they want to keep people from unifying around these things, and so they divide and conquer us. And so that's broadly speaking, and specifically when it comes to cops. Obviously, like anybody else, there's good cops and bad cops. And obviously, when it comes to having that much power and responsibility, there's more, you should be a better person. You should be. If you're, somebody, a janitor who's cleaning up a building at like 2 in the morning until 6 in the morning, and there's nobody else there, so yep, I got to clean this building and get it all clean before, tomorrow at 6 a.m. when the office building opens again, and then people start coming to work. There's a different level of responsibility than I have a badge, I have a gun, and I walk around making sure people don't bother each other, or I look into what happened if somebody did, right? So there's more responsibility there. So you should put more responsibility on the police, and if they do a good job, they should get more respect. However, as you can see with the media, talking about cops killing black people, even though it hardly ever happens, they make a big stink out of it, or cops this or cops that, or people saying I hate cops, or I fucking hate cops. It becomes a common thing to say. That's sort of engineered, right? It's not a practical way of looking at things. And I know personally, having dealt with the cops a bunch, and having the cops having dealt with me a bunch, and not a bad way necessarily, just curious or this or that, sometimes a little mix up here and there, whatever. Most of the time, they're cool and I'm cool. It's a bunch of cool guys, that have to make sure they're cool and other people are cool. They can't be, like a cubicle office worker, a sheepish sideways wet noodle. They've got to be like, no, I came here because there's a problem and I don't want another one, right? Or I got to make sure you're cool so that, we can be cool and I can get to the bottom of this. I can't be like, hey, how's it going? I'm barely paying attention to you. And then sketchy, heroin addict. Hey, good. Stabbed you in the face with a heroin needle. Ah! Cops can't do that, right? They got to make sure, hey, I'm cool. Are you cool? Yeah. All right, what's going on here? Right? So, a lot of cool guys, some cool girls, some cool chicks in the mix, right? With cool guys, obviously. Not cool guys, no, of course not. But with cool guys, whatever, right? So most of the time, when they've had to talk to me or I've talked to them, it's been fine. A couple of times, it's been, hey, buddy, I'm not so sure about that. But that's both ways. I've said that to them, they've said that to me, right? But typically, it's fine, right? Mostly Canadian cops, whatever, like Canadian cops. A couple of times here and there, say, hey, not so sure. But most of the time, it's fine, right? So I can say based on personal experience, most of them aren't that bad, right? And this goes generally speaking, all over the place. And you can tell because in certain third world countries, poor countries around the world, there's way more corruption. Like people are they're not just, man, I'm in Canada and I can say I fucking hate cops. Yeah. Some countries, you're too scared to say that. They'll shake you down, they'll beat you, they'll kill you. They want your money every time you see one. Here, no. Here you can drive around, they typically don't shake you down and take your money. They don't look for bribes. I've been in Thailand, cops tried to shake us down, get bribe money from us. We fortunately had a guy who kind of knew how to play dumb and, not really understand what they were talking about. But typically it doesn't happen. There is some corruption, obviously. I'm not saying they're all good. But I'm saying if you have a balanced perspective, then it's better than typically what the media feeds you. Now, on that note, just more broadly, when it comes to, can you sympathize with the danger of being a cop? Aside from those general ideas, I've got a very specific article here from Breitbart News and Breitbart.com. BREITBART.com. They're an excellent American website from a more conservative perspective. And Breitbart.com does a great job of analyzing politics and pop culture. There's a lot of American stuff there, but because of their analysis of what's going on, you can get a better understanding. You can apply that analysis here, right? And it's also especially good because if you're liberals out there, and the globalists control liberals and the radical left or whatever, they teach you to hate and fear conservatives. Like, oh, no, you like God and family values and being nice, polite ladies and gentlemen and trying to save what works, where you live. You're scum! You're scum! I hate you! You're scum! How about you? We're all messed up and we're screaming about it, right? Like that's sort of modern liberal stuff, right? So Breitbart.com is a great website to sort of go, well, liberals and the sort of the evil liberals at the top, not traditional liberals, but the radical left, globalist radical left taking control over liberals. They teach liberals and the left to hate and fear conservatives because they don't understand them, right? You don't have to hate and fear somebody you don't understand, right? They don't understand them. They just say, those people are scum, get them, right? And when it comes to the conservatives and the right, they often laugh at liberals, right? Some of the stuff they do is really scary, right? In terms of the power structure and messing with people and messing up people to make them easier to control. They make you, conservatives want individual rights, less government, get out of my way. Just make sure we got a free and prosperous environment where we can succeed. Whereas on the liberal side, it's, no, messed up people need more government. No, messed up people need more government control. I'm more messed up, need more government. So they kind of push that, right? So Breitbart.com is a great website to check out. You may not, obviously you don't have to read everything there, but they do stuff on politics and pop culture, on gender, on race, on the cops, on all sorts of stuff. So you can definitely find some good stuff at Breitbart.com. It's one of my favorite websites to read when I'm just looking, I have time and I'm on my phone, and I just feel like looking at a website and reading something interesting. So I recommend Breitbart.com. Now, on the can you sympathize with the danger of being a cop question, this article from Breitbart.com I'll cite here at 11:01 a.m. on Saturday, February 23rd, 2019. It says here from Breitbart.com, BREITBART.com by A.W.R. Hawkins, who does a lot of stuff on their, pro-gun rights and so on, and be able to defend yourself, not just be messing with people, messed with and miserable, whatever, right? Here it is. It says here, watch. Suspect shoots at deputy from point-blank range, gets killed. right? So this is typically the worst cops fear, right? There it is from Breitbart.com. Or not the worst cops fear, the cops' worst fear, right? Is, you know, you're there on a routine thing and all of a sudden things go bad, right? And there's some screenshots from the police body cam. And by A.W.R. Hawkins from February 20th, 2019, just a couple of days ago. It says here, body cam footage released February 20th, 2019 shows a suspect shot at a Napa County, body cam footage released February 20th, 2019 shows a suspect shoot at a Napa County Sheriff's deputy only to be killed as a result. The San Francisco Chronicle reports that the shooting occurred on February 17th, 2019, as Napa County Sheriff's Deputy Riley Jarecki checked on a parked car. 43-year-old Javier Hernandez Morales was sitting in the driver's seat when Jarecki approached and asked if she could check the vehicle. That's right, it's a chick cop. It's not a dude cop, it's a chick cop, even more. Jarecki said, "Wait right there, don't move, okay?" That's what Riley Jarecki, the Napa County chick cop, said. Morales motioned in compliance and remained in the driver's seat. So the guy there was like, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem, I'll listen to you." Jarecki came around to the driver's side of the vehicle and asked Morales to roll down the window. He rolled it down, then allegedly pulled a gun with no warning and fired a shot at point-blank range. Morales missed, and Jarecki opened fire. And here is the body cam video.
Can I look around to make sure? All right, wait right there, don't move, okay? Roll it down. Roll down the window. Roll down the window. Shots fired, shots fired.
And there you have it. If that wasn't clear, I'll put a link to it below. But or you could just Google this, A.W.R. Hawkins, Breitbart, and so on. There. But that can really help you sympathize, right? This chick cop, he's trying to do the right thing. Then you wonder why cops, can be so paranoid and have such a stick up their ass. Well, look, if the cop says, "Hey, you gonna be cool? I'm just gonna come over there and check things out," right? And they're like, "Yeah, sure, I'm going to be cool." And the cop said that to me. "Hey, what's going on? What are you up to?" "Oh, cool, what are you up to?" And they try and read your body language and read how you're acting. And they try and determine if it's safe to approach you and, question you or whatever, right? So she did that. And she went, from the passenger side of the car. She walked around to the driver's side. She asked the guy to roll down his window. He was being a little bit hesitant, but it could be a language thing, could be a didn't hear him thing. You never really know these things, right? And as soon as he rolls down the window, he pulls out a gun, bang, 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 starts shooting at her, right? So she, avoids it miraculously, thank God. And then she pulls out her gun and starts emptying it into his car. And then she goes around to the other side of the car and she just bang, 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 empties her whole gun into the car to make sure he's dead and no longer a threat to her, right? So that's the danger of being a cop, right? That's how dangerous it is. You think it's just a routine check on somebody in a car, and they're like, whatever, and all of a sudden he's like, maybe he's got some issues where he's like, screw this is my chance to shoot you and get out of here. So back to the article. It says here, Deputy Jarecki was not wounded in the exchange, but Morales was pronounced dead at the scene. Police determined that Morales shot at Jarecki with a .22 revolver. A .22 rifle was also discovered in his car. And then when it comes to who this guy was, you never know who anybody, is or whatever. It says here, Morales, quote, had at least 5 prior arrests for violations, including possession of a concealed and loaded firearm, assault on a peace officer, and driving under the influence. There was no confirmation as to whether he was convicted on any of those counts. So, there you go. So, can you sympathize with the danger of being a cop? The reason I bring this article up and this situation up is because I think it can help people sympathize with the danger of being a cop, and I think that is really important. And then, and I'm not saying, everybody's great, everybody's bad. It's not that black and white. It just can give you some context. So if you're out there, you're like, man, cops this, cops that, cops just get donuts, cops whatever. There is, sometimes there's a lot of nothing. You're just looking around, keeping an eye out, looking for trouble to stop or whatever. But if there's ever something, that something could be hell, right? So you never ever know. I remember at the G20 Martial Law Summit in Toronto in 2010, where they're expecting black bloc protesters and possible false flag this and people blowing the bomb at the bank and I remember seeing the cops at that time, and I was covering it for my radio show and so on. I remember some of them looked at me. I'm straight up guys, they know. It's like, oh, it's cool. But people can be nice and share as long as you're cool. You're not too much of a mess to share anything with, to express someone to express themselves with. And you're not so much of a mess that you're annoying for them to deal with. You just straight up, right? And some of them looked at me. I remember them biking down, to kind of approach a call. They looked at me like, man, I don't know if I'm going to make it home to see my kids tonight. That's what the look on his face was. I looked at him like, I feel you, dog, because you just don't know what's going to happen, right? Usually nothing, but if it's something, it could be something really bad, right? So that gives you an example of that. And then when it comes to polite patriotism, which I'm promoting at manforwars.com to help people, respect each other and communicate well, it's harder to trust people when you get worked up and, force you to see them look ugly till they don't like you. And then when you don't like each other, you go wander around for strangers to see you look ugly till they don't like you, and then you just kind of stuck like that, right? When you're on some sheepish, sideways, sketchy stuff or whatever, right? It's hard to get along with people. So if a cop approaches me, right, and I make him worry about me or he makes me worry about him or whatever, it's not good. It's not comfortable, right? Most people should be cool, nice, polite, ladies and gents, cool, not bothered, all messed up, not bothering people, you're all messed up, huh? Right? Not that, because then it's harder to trust people in general, and especially for members of law enforcement, security, whoever, but just people in general, just regular men, women, kids. It's hard to trust people to the point where you can like each other and communicate well, talk to each other, and mind your business. It's hard, right? And then within that environment, it allows way more scumbags and criminals to operate. Right? Because way more scumbags. Because you don't know who the good people are when everyone's a bad person. Right? You don't know. It's like, they're a nice person. What if no one's a nice person? Okay, so no one's a nice person. No one can be nice to people. Why bother being nice to someone who's not nice to you? Right? That just allows for more bad people to get away with more bad things. Right? And so that's a problem. And so that comes with, people in positions of authority interacting with people. They typically know, oh, nice polite Canadian, nice polite Canadian. Oh, that person's off, that person's sketchy, that person's weird, that person's nervous, that person's uncomfortable, that person's making people uncomfortable, that person's sweating, that person's bothering people, that person's a mess, that person's messing with other people. We should get them. We should question them and stop them, or security guards in a mall, right? Typically if it's one person in the mall, worked up bothering people, then it's easy, right? The security guard, hey, excuse me, what is it? Look, you got to calm down, you got to go. What are you talking about? Look, don't bother other people, don't bother me by lying about it, okay? You can't stop, you got to go. But if everyone does it, then what can you do? Right? If everyone does it, the security guards people have to do it to get along, then it's just a madness. It's just a mess, right? And then the worse people treat each other, the worse people act, the worse they will treat each other, and the worse they will act. So that's a big problem. So when it comes to sympathizing with the danger of being a cop, I hope that helps. When it comes to understanding the importance of polite patriotism, nice, polite ladies and gents, raising nice, polite, confident children, communicating well, something on their minds like, their country, their future, where they live, being a positive part of that, contributing to it by making sure they're cool, other people are cool, as opposed to a negative part of that by, making sure they're not cool, nobody else can be cool, whatever. That's all important. So, anyway, BK Black Krishna for manforwars.com. And here on Saturday, February 23rd, 2019 at 11:12 a.m. Feel free to support the Man for War's efforts, and we'll do more than less about this. Ton of stuff's already been done, even if people have trouble, and you can use it, or nothing's happening, nobody did anything, nothing we can do, just whatever, who cares, right? So it is what it is, right? I'm easy, because you don't want to bother, I hate bothering people, I always feel bad bothering people. But if there's an issue, and people are having some issues, I take care of it, then people can use it, or people can say, nope, nothing's happening, nobody can do anything, you didn't do anything, you don't even exist, and that's life. It's like, all right, fine, what do you do, right? Can't make people feel worse. They feel bad enough about feeling bad, bothering people, or feeling bad because people bother them, and everything but that makes them feel worse. So, you just gotta kind of let it go. Just say, it is what it is. Or, nice, polite Canadians can, respect each other, communicate well, teach kids to, make it normal. And if you do happen to find some poor, rude, sketchy Canadian, right? Maybe they're mentally ill, maybe they're addicted to drugs, maybe there's some other issue. They like being ignored by polite Canadians. They love it. They have a great time, right? They get excited. I've got a bunch of video if you want to see it. But even in your own memories, you can see the poor, sketchy, crazy old man sitting at a Tim Hortons coffee shop, right? So, hey, poor, sketchy, crazy, homeless person sitting at a coffee shop. I get my coffee, make everyone near me too uncomfortable to do anything except for be uncomfortable. And they'll sit there for 2 hours at a Tim Hortons coffee shop in Toronto, and polite Canadians walk in, say, hey, let's see you wipe my nose, scratch my head, and shove something in my mouth because I can't talk, and just obsessively, hey. And polite Canadians just politely ignore them, go get a coffee, Timbits for the kids, hot chocolate, whatever, and leave. And they're happy. Because if all you can do is force people to see you look ugly till they don't like you, make people uncomfortable till they don't like you, right? Or have other people make you uncomfortable because that's how you act and you go back and forth, then you're way happier being ignored, right? It's not that bad, right? Never show any respect, never get any respect. You can never be nice. People can never be nice to you. So the best you can do is to be politely ignored and forgotten about, just by a polite Canadian. Then it's not that awful to have you nearby. Right? It's not that bad. That's why they get so excited, right? They love being ignored. They love it. Yes, yes, yes. So you'll have the person, Tim Hortons, sitting there. Hey, push you look ugly, sketchy. Scratch my, anybody want to see this? And polite Canadians walk into the Tim Hortons coffee shop, just politely ignore them, get a coffee, donuts, whatever, get out of there, or sit down, and they just sit there happily. Yeah, it's not that awful to be near me. All right. If they're too aggressive, if they come too close to you, bump into you, threaten you, whatever, that's different. That's when you got to tell the manager this person has to go. But otherwise, nobody minds. Polite Canadians don't mind, right? They always force people to see them look ugly till you don't like them, and they're happy being ignored. It's better than that, right? You're not upset. You didn't bother them. You don't dislike them. You're not uncomfortable with them in some awkward, stupid situation. So they're happy. They just sit there, just keep trying to force you to look ugly, make you both uncomfortable, and they're happy being ignored, right? So anyway, those are some tips, and all that relates to how people get along and having sympathy for the danger of being a cop and making sure people are cool where you live, and then the odd person that's a mess but not that bad, not mess with people, and people can politely ignore them, fine. And the one that's worse, you can always call a cop or call somebody else or call for help, and you can get that situation taken care of as well. So anyway, BK Black Krishna for manforwars.com here at 11:16 a.m. downtown Toronto, Canada, Saturday, February 23rd. Feel free to support the Man for Wars efforts as you like. Success will breed more. If not, then not. And so, otherwise, I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.